made a little sketch of what I was gonna do. And then I decided I was trying to do it like horizontal. And then I couldn't get it, the stencil situated to where I liked them. So I just said, you know what? I'm gonna do it vertical. And we'll just take these stencils. We're gonna just use this one, we're gonna stencil, and then we'll do this next size, and then this next size, and these will be, this one will be stenciled with two pinks, or a pink and a red. This one we're gonna use the foil on, and then this one we're gonna use glass. So I just felt like it was better this way. I hate that crickety look. Ugh. Hate it. I don't know what to do about it. So anywho, first thing we have to do first things first, right? And we have to do our background. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Now, I don't want it to be just stark white. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make sure my comments are coming through. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use this 1-inch flat brush. You could use a chip brush, whatever you want. And we're gonna put, the colors we're using are teal, gold, and pink. So I'm gonna use pink and teal and white for my background. Now the top heart is going to be the pink stencil heart. So we're gonna do teal at the top. At the bottom is gold and teal, so we're gonna use pink at the bottom, and we're gonna use our white, of course, to start with. So I am just going to, afraid to squirt the white on directly onto my canvas because it's icky. So I'm gonna brush some of this debris off, and let's just get started. So I'm gonna start with white. I'm gonna go ahead and put this dragon fruit pink. Y'all know I love this color. Dragon fruit. And this is turquoise blue. Now the white is going to tone this color down a little so it's not, uh-oh, that's greasy. Let's shake that up a little better. Hate that. The white is gonna minimize the intensity of the color because I don't want it to be, I don't want my background to be this bold, right? I want it to be subtle and the art be the focal point, right? So I'm gonna start at the top. I'm gonna pull this towards me a little. I'm just gonna get some of this white on probably the top half. I'll just get that covered. And I wanna work wet on wet, so I'm gonna do this quickly so that my paint doesn't start to dry. Just works better wet on wet. I'm gonna get that little nasty thing out of there. I don't like you. I need to go and just splurge on all new paints because mine all seem to be getting super yucky really fast these days for some reason. Okay, so this top part is gonna be pink, so we're gonna go into the blue, and I'm gonna grab up a little bit of that blue, and I'm just gonna blend it right in to that white. All right. And I like it messy and random, so we're gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna offload, which means I'm just gonna take my paper towel and I'm just gonna get all that excess paint off of my brush. I'm gonna go back into my white, and I'm gonna do the bottom half in the white, blending right up into that blue again. Sorry about the traffic noise, guys. I cannot wait to move. You know, we moved the my live where I, you know, my table for my live's up front so that because we've been packing and moving things around and getting rid of things, and I needed to have a place where it, you know, could sit like this constantly. So we moved it up front, and now I just get tons of traffic noise. So forgive me for that. Hopefully in the next few weeks, we're gonna be moving and it won't be so bad. All right, so I've got the top half done in the blue. So now I'm gonna go into this dragon fruit pink, and I'm gonna come down to the bottom. I'm gonna hold this still with my finger. I'm gonna come down and do this bottom half in the pink, and I'm just gonna blend it right up into that blue a little. I'm gonna get just a tiny bit more. I got way too much color on my palette. It's all right. So I'm just gonna blend that up into my blue, and then we'll get that tiny bit of blue down into the pink. So all our colors are here. I'm gonna mute that pink down just a little. I'm gonna make sure my edges are okay. And we're gonna hit this with our dryer. I tell you what I'm gonna do first, because I can't stand it, because the paint is so crazy. Hey y'all. Hello Lisa, Teresa, Kathy. I'm gonna scoop this back up into my little paints real quick, because we gotta dry that anyway. And this dragon fruit is one of my favorite colors, and I don't wanna waste it. And we're gonna do the same thing with that teal, because I got a little too happy. I should have left the dragon fruit, because I am gonna use that again. That was a little bit of a brain fart, but see, that's what I get. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing here, y'all. All right, yeah, I could have left the pink. That was a little off, but that's okay. We'll work it out, right? Ain't no biggie. Hello, Judy. So I'm gonna grab my heat gun. I get so many questions about my heat gun. This is called a Seek 1 heat gun. I got it off Amazon. It was like 25 bucks-ish, somewhere along that line. I'm not 100% sure the exact price, but it was about 25 bucks-ish. So we're gonna get this dry. I don't know either, Karen. Nobody else does. Are you going to just going to the Art Shattered page and clicking on the lab? Facebook's crazy though, y'all. Y'all know that. Y'all know Facebook is crazy. They change their minds, change the way they do things. You just never know what you're gonna get with Facebook. All right, that is good and dry. So now here's what we're gonna do. All right, I'm gonna have to, I gotta think for a second. I'm gonna grab another stencil, hang on. I didn't think about the outside of that. So let me grab, I want to sketch that out, had been using my brain. That's okay, we're gonna make do. We're gonna figure it out. Because I want to paint my heart the pink, and then we're gonna stencil it with another color. So let's find, this will do. So let's use this, and I'm just gonna trace around the inside with this heart. I'm gonna come almost all the way to the top, and I am going to use, hot pink, or this same pink that I just took the time to put back in my bucket. I'm gonna use that pink to paint my heart. Oh. So I'm going to outline it with a pencil, just with a watercolor pencil. Let me make sure it's straight. I'm just going to use it. So instead of stenciling it, I'm just going to hand paint it. Because we're going to stencil the next step. Come on, girl. So we'll just use that to outline. We're going to paint this. That pink I just put away because I'm crazy. let's just put it back out here. Probably need more than that too. So I'm gonna paint that with the dragon fruit. Then we're gonna use our stencil and put red through our stencil. So let's get this done. I had an animal print heart stencil somewhere too that I have no idea what I did with it. I was a little miffed that I couldn't find it, but this one is nice too. So I'm gonna really carefully, I gotta be quiet for a second so I can get this right without messing up. Woo! It was close. All right, I'm gonna turn this a little. Thank you for all the sprinkles. I'm gonna turn this and we'll get right on top of my little line where I traced my heart. Oh, that went well. Beautiful. That went beautifully well, which is very unusual for me. All right, let's do the other side. Let's hold our breath while we get this side done. Like, nice edge. This is the hardest part of the whole thing, is making sure. Whew. All right, I'm gonna flip it and do the bottom half. Then we're gonna get this dry. Well, thank you, Kimberly. That's so sweet. I hope you're talking to me. That's very sweet. I always felt like, number one, you know, obviously I'm from the South, that I sounded like a hick. I'm not a hick though, y'all, I promise. Or I kind of am in the best way possible. And that it was kind of gravelly. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. Let's get this very bottom tip done. Come on. You hold my breath. That tip is tough. All right, I'm gonna turn it back around. Isn't it cute, that stencil? I think it was like $7 or $8. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it wasn't too much. But they have two options too. They have just this one heart for like $7 or $8. And then they have another option where you can buy a set of hearts. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of white in there, even though we're gonna stencil over it a little bit. They had a set of hearts that had like 4 or 5 hearts in it for like $12 or something. Just a little bit of that white, just to give it some dimension. All right, now we want to stencil over the top of this, so we got to get this dry. All right, so I'm going to dry this real quick. And Stacy again. Now my stencil is not the exact same size as the stencil, the pink heart that I just did, but it's super close. So this brush is a 1-inch flat. It's a number 1-inch flat, and I just remembered that I left my stencil brush on my desk. So let me grab it. Crazy girl. Right there. This is what happens when you move your work desk, your paint desk, out of its normal place. You're always losing things. All right, let me see if this is cool. Thank you for the stars. Okay, guys, so here, whew, hang on, I'm having a hot flash. Old lady hot flash going on. 10:98. I'm gonna take a sip of this cold water. Dragon fruit pink. Dragon fruit is the pink color and turquoise blue is the blue color. So here's the stencil from Amazon. Link is in the description. Let me get it out. And we're gonna put that sucker right in the middle. I gotta adjust it since my heart's a different size. Look at there, come on. You can do it. That looks good right there. Oh, stuck to me. And I'm gonna tape this down right here on the bottom so it doesn't wiggle away from me. And we're gonna stencil. So how many of you out there, give me some thumbs up if you have stenciled before and know how to stencil. Give me some thumbs up. Let me know who's out there and who is a professional stenciler. Thank you, Kimberly. Oops. We got some stencilers out there. Yeah, look at all you guys. Awesome. That is super cool. Okay, so most of y'all know how, but I'm gonna review for those who don't. And I'm gonna start with a clean, this is not a clean plate, but I'm telling you, I like to use them till they're dead. So I'm gonna use this one, and this color that I'm using is called Cinnamon Drop, and it's kind of a pinky red. Hey Lisa, sister. Yes, the hard stencil that I use for the pink and the two that I'm gonna use for the other two hearts, Leslie, are from the set that I posted the other day. And I can't get the plastic off. So, girl, you just need a little practice. Just need a little practice. I think the biggest thing that people don't know or don't remember, or nobody's ever just has told them, is how to load your brush. So we're gonna do that. Thank you for the star, Stace. So I'm gonna put some of this Cinnamon Drop onto my palette, onto my plate, and I'm gonna kind of shake it down a little. I don't want it to be blobby. And I like to use a good stencil brush too. This one actually I bought online. It's a Royal Design Studio stencil. It's really thick and plush, and I really love this one. But any stencil brush is good. I like to use the ones that aren't super stiff. You know, there are some out there where the bristles are just so stiff, it's hard to get any flexibility with them. So make sure you have a decent stencil brush is the first order of business, okay? Yay, Colleen! All right, so here's what you're gonna do. You can stencil two ways. You can do the dot method or the pounce method, which is you get your color on and you just pounce, okay? You pounce, 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 and get all the color inside your stencil. The second way, thank you, Marilyn, is to get color, and then you're gonna very lightly, you're not gonna press hard. This one is better if you have stencil adhesive on the back of your stencil so it sticks to your canvas really nice. Because if you have too much paint on your brush and you do this method where you're just rubbing it in, if you have too much paint, you could get it underneath the stencil and kind of ruin the effect, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to not have too much paint on your brush. So here's my brush. I'm gonna use only that flat part of my brush. I'm gonna dip it right in to that red. See how much paint I have? It's hard for me to tell if you can see that or not. That's how much paint I have. Too much, but that's okay. There's no way to control that. So what you're gonna do is take a paper towel and you are gonna take your stencil brush perpendicular and you're gonna make circles and just rub that paint into your brush. And then it's gonna look like, you're gonna feel like you got all the paint off and there's no paint left on your brush, all right? That is not the case. So I'm gonna show you the scrub method and show you what to watch for, okay? So I'm gonna put my hand on my stencil, but I'm not gonna press down because if I do, my stencil is gonna pop up. Just very lightly, and I'm gonna take my brush perpendicular to my surface and I'm gonna make circles, okay? And you're gonna think, well, there's no paint on my brush. I rubbed it all off onto my paper towel. And it's gonna look like there's no paint going on to your canvas. I'm just very lightly, okay? But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a peek. You don't wanna peel it up. That's why we're taped. But you're gonna lift it up and take a peek. And look, there is way more paint going onto that than you think there is. Just because you think you rubbed it all off does not mean you did, all right? So let's do it again. We're gonna get paint on our brush. That's a gob of paint for a stencil. If I took that and started brushing it onto my surface, that paint is gonna go everywhere, all up under my stencil, and it's not gonna be pretty, okay? So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna come over here, and I'm gonna offload all that paint. And then brush, just go in circles, and that way it gets all in those bristles, all right? So there's no like globby, wet looking paint on my stencil brush. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna tell you what I wanna do. Worrying because the stencil goes pretty close to the edge of the heart. I'm gonna do this because over here, I mean, there's like a 1/4 inch or less of space, and I was afraid I was gonna get the pink on my actual canvas, and it's the same over here. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna tape that right there, and that'll keep me from getting the pink where I don't want it, okay, because it's really cut close. So now I'm gonna take my stencil again, I'm gonna hold my canvas still, and I'm gonna come up here, and I'm just very lightly going in circles, and adding this paint through the stencil, all right? So we're gonna do it one more time just for effect, all right? I'm gonna show you real quick what we've done so far so you can see. Let's see. Look how pretty. Starting to look good. All right, I'm gonna tape that back down. We're gonna go one more time. Gob paint, you can see how it's wet on your bristles. You don't want that. So we're gonna go in circles, get all that excess paint off, all the wet stuff. And you're gonna come here and we're gonna just do it again. Very lightly. Add that paint right through our stencil. And now we should have a nice finished look. I'm not gonna peel it up because I might do one more thing. And look how cute that pink heart is. Stinking adorable. Adorable. So I want to try one more thing, and I may have to paint over it if it doesn't work out how I want it to, okay? So bear with me. So I'm gonna take that same brush. I'm gonna go into some of this white. See that white on my brush? I'm gonna offload. So you can see now there's a lighter version, and I am just going to come in and very lightly, let's take a peek. See, that's why you just do a little bit and take a peek. I want to try one more thing, and then we may have to dry it up. Okay, got paint on my stencil brush. Let's offload. I'm gonna try the pounce. Really wanted to just highlight a little, but I think it's just overwhelming. Oh, I think I like that. All right, let's go back to red. back to red. I'm gonna pounce out some of this that we made white. Leaving a little bit of that pink showing through. Let's see what we think there. I like it. I'm gonna do one more thing. So I'm just alternating colors now. Add a little bit of white. I don't want to cover the whole thing. I'm gonna come back with a little bit of that red. See, now I'm just getting crazy. I'm just gonna pounce some of that red right back on. Hang on, I need more. Pounce, pounce, pounce. Let's see what we think. All right, I'm fairly happy with that. Didn't turn out exactly like I hoped, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I like the variety of color. Now guys, don't forget to clean your stencils. So you're gonna just pop this in your sink and spray a little spray cleaner on it and let it soak for a few minutes. And then you can very gently use your stencil brush. Very gently in that same motion, clean that stencil that way. All right, so I think I'm done with my stencil brush. And I need to dry this because we're gonna do our next heart. So let's do this. Super cute. I'll show it to you close up as soon as I get it dry. All right. I like the highs and lows and different colors of the stencil. It kind of gives it a little bit of a 3D effect. So I ain't mad at all, y'all. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so let's do our next heart. So our next heart is going to be the foil, okay? And we're gonna overlap this a little and twist it to the right. We're gonna just kind of shift it that way. So we're gonna use this foil that is kind of flashes gold, teal, and pink. It's hard to show you on camera, but I think once we get it on the piece, it will show up better. So I wanna make sure I get my hearts right too. So let me grab the baby one. So we'll pull this down just a little. And then we'll overlap this one like that. So I think right about there is perfect. So I'm gonna grab a piece of tape. Let's tape it in place. And then I'm gonna use my pencil again just to trace around it. And we're gonna paint, I'm gonna paint the inside of this heart. Hold on to your hats. Hang on. I'm gonna paint it black because if we mishap on our foil, I want, if I don't get some of the foil to transfer, I want the black to be what shows, all right? So I traced out, let me do this. Can't see that one. I traced out my second heart. Ooh. And let's see, where's my black? There it is. So we're gonna paint with some black. Right onto that heart. Let me grab a decent brush. So I'm gonna put this here, living on the edge, living dangerously. And I am going to, I should have wet that brush. That's all right. I'm gonna pull this a little closer to myself. And I'm gonna get this edge of that heart first. The traffic is terrible, y'all. We're gonna do, I know that seems weird doing it black, but trust me, it'll be okay. You could also, whatever color foil you're using, made a boo-boo. Whatever color foil you're using, you want to do something that is close to that color or complementary. All right? So you don't want to put this dark foil on top of the white canvas, because if some of it doesn't transfer, what you see underneath is white. You see the color of the canvas, and it just doesn't look good. Let's see, gotta hold my mouth right. Right? Y'all do that too? When you're painting at home, it's like, you gotta be quiet, don't talk. Oh. It's like if I talk, I'll mess up that line. Like I just did, so we gotta fix that. See, I can't talk. I gotta be quiet. Hang on one second. Y'all know it's hard for me to be quiet. The good thing is it's a little hard and you can fix it. There we go. Let's see. I'm gonna flip it around a little so I can get to all the right places properly. And get right up on your tracer line. So a show of hands again. We looked at all you guys who have used stencils. So let's see a show of hands, some thumbs up or hearts, something. Give me some love for anybody out there who has used the foils. If you've used foils, give me a thumbs up or a heart or something. Let me see out there who's using them. Look at you guys. You guys are awesome. I love it. All my creative people out there. That is so super cool. So the foils come from my friend Rima. I've known Rima probably 20 more, at least 20 years. Known each other so long. She is an original member of the Shattered Circle, and her specialty is the foils and would you bend, if you've ever used that before. She is your go-to for all things foil and would you bend. Okay, so we got that black covered. I'm gonna throw that in my cup, and we're gonna get this dry because we're gonna use some foil size. Thank you for the stars, Terry and Diane. Janet, we're going to show you just how simple it is, you and Susan, to use the foil. We're going to get our black heart dry. We're going to get our black hearts dry. I'm going to turn this down just a little. This is one of the things I love about this heat gun is you have 2 speeds, high and low, but you also have variable temperature. So it doesn't, you can control the temperature and how much air is coming out. Well, I do want to get this super dry though. Leslie, you should ask Rima. Ask her what her best sellers are. She will send you sample packs too. Sample sizes. All right, we're gonna let this cool off. We don't want to do this hot, right? But we are gonna use the same foil that Rima sells on her page. It's foil adhesive and it's like a glue, okay? This is her newest adhesive, and it dries really fast, okay? The other ones, we would have to like whistle our way through it and hope that the foil dried fast enough. The link, Janet, is in the description at the very top of this live. There's links for everything. All right, so we'll get that one more second to get dry, and I'm gonna get a new brush that I can put glue on. And we are gonna use a new clean brush, dry. And we're gonna put a coat of this glue. Maybe. I can't get the bottle open. We're gonna use a coat of this glue. All right, hang on. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. I'm gonna see if I can't get. It's new. I haven't used it yet. It's sealed. Oh my goodness, I've been using the old stuff. I hadn't fooled in a minute though. I don't think I fooled since October. There we go. That'll help. That'll help get it open. Take the seal off, right? Sorry, reams. All right. Look at there, just comes right off. So this is called foil adhesive. It's white. It dries clear, and it's what is going to hold. It's going to allow us to transfer this beautiful foil onto our canvas. All right. So I'm just going to take a good dry, clean brush, and I am going to just put a coat. Now don't get outside your line. I do want to make sure all my black is covered, but I don't want to drip any over here, because if you put the foil there, then it will also stick the color over there. So I'm going to be super careful on my edge. Something else you could do too, just a heads up you guys, is you could pounce this through your stencil and then pull your stencil, let your adhesive set, and then put the foil on, and it would only go in that stencil area. That would be super cool too. Maybe we'll do that someday. So let's get up here. I want to make sure all my black has the glue on it. If it doesn't, it won't be a tragedy, but I do want it to be covered. All right. So when it's clear, it's starting to kind of look purple because it's the white over the black, but when it's super clear is when you know it's ready. Let's turn her upside down, get the other side. If you really want to know how to learn how to use foils, you should watch Rima's page. I'm not a professional, that's for sure. I know just enough to make me dangerous. Y'all have that problem with yourselves? With a certain topic or skill, know just enough to make you dangerous. All right, so we're gonna let this set. On top of messages says click on video, comes up to make sure everything. I don't know what you mean. Okay, so we're gonna let this set. I'm gonna put this top back on before I make a mess. We're going to give that time to dry clear. It's supposed to take a minute or so. Way better than the 10 minutes it used to take. It says apply one layer by brush and allow to dry for 40 to 60 seconds. The glue will change from white to clear, then add foils of your choice. Cleanup is soapy water, warm soapy water, and voila. And it's called Southern Belle Foil Adhesive. Come on, let's get dry. It's still kind of purpley in the middle. Look how pretty the pink heart is. Still kind of wet in the center, so we're gonna give it another second or two. Let's see. Ella, they're gonna be at the top of the page. You're not gonna be able to see the links if you're inside the live watching, but if you close it down and then and look at the live on your Facebook while, but not inside the live, you'll be able to see the links. Oh, click on the video. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Christine. Okay, come on. still a little wet right in the middle. I'm gonna hit this. Don't tell Rima, she'll kill me, but I'm gonna hit this with my heat gun on low and low heat. Well, that's high heat. Let me get it right. And I'm gonna hit that from far away and see if we can't get that dry. Almost there, almost. Rima would be fussing at me. She'd be like, you cannot force that dry. So just, if you're doing this at home, just be patient and let it do its thing, all right? So now I'm gonna take my adhesive and I'm gonna lay it down on top of my heart. Ooh, just like that. And I'm gonna rub. I'm gonna start with my hand so I can see the outline of my heart, so you can kind of see in person where exactly that heart is, because the foil sticks right to the, trying to find another stencil brush. The foil sticks right to that glue. So now I'm going to use one of the icky stencil brushes that I have. That's what I'm talking about. The stencils, the brush hairs are so short and they're so stiff. They just, they don't work well for me. Okay, so I'm going to just take my stencil brush and I'm going to press down and make sure I am adhering that foil to that glue I just laid out. You'll kind of be able to see that it's sticking, but we could also take a peek. Oh, it's not coming off. Did I not wait long enough? Was it hot? Did I make a boo-boo? Am I gonna be in trouble? Oh, it's coming off a little. Not as tealy as I thought it would be. Heh. I'm not 100% impressed. Want it to look like this. Yeah, I'm obviously not being a good example of how to do foils. I may not have, it might have been because I heated it up. Still sticky. Let me try something else. I'm gonna do this. See how, hang on, I'm gonna show you something. See how on the foil you can still see there's foil on the sheet? It's not transferring. I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna do this. Might have been me. I told y'all I wasn't supposed to hit it with a heat gun. Y'all let me do it. We'll try again. Rima is shaking her head right now, wherever she is, saying, I told you not to do it. Ah. Aw, I'm sad though. I had an idea in my head what I wanted. That is not it. It still looks super black to me, but you can see when you kind of twist it sideways that it does have some of that color. I'm gonna try one more time, and it's very sticky in the middle. Now I'm going to tell you this too. One thing you can do. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm not terribly unhappy with how this looks. Okay, see how you can see that shimmer? You can glue again, and you can add the glue again and let it dry, and then try the foil again. I actually, since I think this is sold, I think I'm gonna try to do that. Okay, what do you guys think? To just try one more time to get the foil. It won't take but a minute. So let's do that. I gotta grab my foil. Rima is just having a fit right now. Let me grab my foil. Here it is. try it again. I'm gonna show you how, if it doesn't transfer like this just did, and I'm not gonna use my heat gun this time, you can do it again. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So let's grab a brush. We're gonna refoil because I'm not happy with that. I don't hate it, but it's not screaming, oh, this is so gorgeous. And I don't like that theme. I want it to look how I want it to look. Yeah, we're not gonna heat it up this time. I followed the instructions with that exception, so I'm going to assume that is where I went wrong. Also don't want a thick buildup on the edge. I'll tell you this too, sometimes if your canvas is super textured, this kind of stuff will happen because, and you know, if you're working on a flat, hard wood surface, it usually transfers beautifully. But because of the texture, the glue will go down in the valleys of the canvas texture and it won't stick to those top peaks. So that could be an issue as well. So this could help with that. We're going to try it again. Let's do her again. I'm not giving up. We don't quit that easy. All right, I think we got that covered again. So we're going to do the weighting this time. I got some glue on my fingers, so I'm going to get one of Gina's whites. Ugh. And get this glue off my hands while we're holding our breath, waiting on this to dry. No, the pretty color goes up, Deborah. You have to put the pretty color up, the pretty side up with foil. I'm still seeing some purple on the, thank you for the bracelet comment. Still seeing some purple on that heart. So we're gonna give it a few more minutes. I'm not gonna force it this time. It's gonna be good. And just so you know, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take this small piece. Can everybody see this third area? We're gonna take this small heart. We're gonna add it down at the bottom. We're gonna paint that black too. I could have painted them both at the same time, but I'm trying to do one full heart at a time. We're gonna paint that, and then we're gonna make it gold. And then we're gonna put some glass beads on that are gold and pink and teal. Iridescent, super, super cool. Or maybe we'll put those on there. It's getting there. I see one little spot, so we're just going to, we're just gonna wait it out. I'm not drying it. I'm not drying it. I'm not drying it. This glue, Melissa, is called Southern Belle Foil Adhesive. There's a link for it in the description of this live. All right. I still see a wet spot, so I'm trying to be patient. Angela says, Walsamore has added cool decoupage papers. That is awesome. I didn't even look today. I was so in a hurry. To get those links, I didn't even look. So we're gonna be patient. Yes, Teresa, we're gonna be patient. little girls and boys, if there are any. And you can kind of see, even on the live, it's kind of purple right there. We're gonna give it a minute. We're gonna be good. In the meantime, I'm gonna move this up and I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna cut off. This is the foil we're using. So it kind of glows. So I'm gonna cut off another section that is about the right size for this heart. I like to cut off a piece instead of using a big piece. That way I don't have as much waste and you have a little more control than if you were trying to hold on to that great big piece of foil. Okay, I'm gonna have one more sip and then we're gonna try again. I'm gonna say a little prayer. That's right, trust the process. Say a little prayer. A little prayer ain't gonna hurt either. All right, so it should still be tacky. It still is. So we're gonna try again. Oh, my breath. I'm gonna make sure this is gonna cover the whole heart. Lay it down. It's still super sticky. This is the first time I've used this adhesive. So I may be doing something wrong, but I'm pretty sure I follow the directions. This says apply one layer by brush and allow to dry for 40 to 60 seconds. Glue will change from white to clear. Then, I'm sorry if I posted the wrong link. While you're on that page, just go and find this one. It's called Southern Belle. Doesn't give any other direction, so I'm trying to decide if I should try. It's still not coming off. I'm using my fingernail a little bit. This is a bust. It's not coming off. I don't know. I wish Rena was here. She could tell me what I'm doing wrong. Let me grab something. Have a little scrubby. Let's see if we can use a little scrubby. Now I've done foils on this page 20 times and I have never had this problem. I've never used this size before either, so that does not look how I want it to. All right. Rima! Help. All right. I don't know what else to do, so we are going to try something. Well, it said 60 seconds, so that's how long I waited. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move on to our next heart. We're gonna let this sit for a little bit, and we're gonna do our bottom heart, and we're gonna try, we'll come back and try to see if we can either fix that or paint over it or something along those lines. Okay, so let me try. One more. It keeps pulling up what's already down. So it's super sticky, even where the foil is. So we're gonna move on to this heart and we'll come back. All right, so we're gonna do, hang on, the heart wants to stick to this. All right, I'm gonna hold that down. She waits longer, huh? Well, you know, it's a possibility, but I'll literally follow the directions. So, I don't know. She could tell me what I did wrong, or maybe I just have some bad stuff. That's always a possibility. So where'd my pencil go? I'm gonna trace out this heart. Don't you hate when things go wrong? They go awry, then you just feel frazzled. It's like, I'm never gonna figure it out. All right, so on this one, we may end up having to paint this teal. Rena's out to dinner. So it is pretty, but it's not as pretty as I want it to be. And looking at it straight on, it's kind of blotchy. So we'll figure it out. For this one, I'm gonna paint gold. I was gonna paint black first, but I think we'll be able to do the gold right over the top. I'm gonna do a little sample and we'll try it without the black. And if we have to paint the black, we will. So let's try. Let's see. I think we can do the gold without. Probably 2 coats though. And if we have to paint our center heart teal, we'll do that. Yeah, I mean, it does happen. Normally, it happens to me, not when 300 people are watching. I like to normally get things I've never done before. I'll practice them first. But it's all good. We're all friends here, right? Nobody's mad. Unless you bought this heart and expected it to look like something different. And if that's the case, if this heart is sold and you don't like the way it looks in the end, please don't feel bad about letting me know that. It's not gonna hurt my feelings one bit. All right, this, you know what we're gonna do? I know exactly what I'm gonna do. We're gonna put these beautiful seed beads over that. I'm gonna dry this and get a quick second coat on. Now, you definitely shouldn't get discouraged. I hope I can be a good example of that. I'm not really discouraged. I just want this, I want it to be pretty in the end. So I'm just gonna keep playing until I do. MM is at home. He's having some truck troubles today. So he is at home right now. He could help, couldn't he? But yeah, don't be discouraged. And I try to tell you guys that, you know, nothing is perfect. I'm gonna let this cool for a second. And yeah, don't be discouraged. I'm not gonna be. It's gonna work out. We'll figure it out. We'll put some glue or some alines down, put some seed beads on it. We're gonna do gold glass here. Once this is cooled, we're gonna add some gold. Just want a decent coverage of the gold paint. Up and not that hair. Alright, now I'm going to set this aside. Oh, yes, I'm going to have a little lesson with Rima. She's going to laugh at me so hard. She's going to be like, girl, what's wrong with you? I'm going to do a little sample and then I'm going to give up. I'm going to use this scrubby. And I can't get any of it off now. Yep, it's not coming off. It's not coming off. That's all right. We're just going to work with this while this dries. Now I can't get it off. It's just stuck. I'm going to let that dry for a few minutes, and I'm going to add some glue. Some of the glue I know works. And we won't do 100% coverage of the beads because there are some really pretty spots. Let's get some of that glue on. We'll brush it around and add some seed beads here. We need to add some lines too. See, I got so frazzled. So this is just clear tacky glue, Aleene's. And I'm just going to brush this on. And we're going to cover this with seed beads. I love these seed beads anyway. I actually brought them to the table to use or possibly use. I guess something in my brain thought maybe something might go wrong. I don't know. Need a little more glue. And before I put my beads on here, I'm definitely gonna need some red coffee when this is over, y'all. Before I walk away from it, or before I move on from this, I'm gonna add a few lines. Okay, I'm gonna come around my heart. Try to keep my arm out of the glue. I'm just gonna make my lines with my pen. Dot, dot, dot. Now this is black, but we're gonna come around it anyway, right around the outside. Y'all know I like my lines. We're gonna do the same thing around the outside of the gold. Okay, so I'm gonna grab these seed beads. Let me show you what they are. They are from Hobby Lobby, okay? So this is called Berry Lined Light Topaz. And they're 6.0. I will add this to the links. Super, super iridescent, pretty beads. So let me see if I can get the top off. Hey, Alabama. These are really, really, really pretty. So I'm gonna just start dumping them. They're super cheap too. I got these half off. They're regularly $5.99 and I got them for half off, so they're like $3. And I may have to go get another pack because I do want a few more than this. So let me grab another pack. Ooh. Where'd they go? Oh, goody, I don't have another pack. We're going to use something different. All right, I don't have another pack of these, so let's just make lemonade out of lemons. I'm going to use another color. This is called seafoam lined crystal. We're just going to go for it, right? I know, that's the problem. No red coffee. Let me get the top off this without. There we go. So these are more teal iridescent. They're kind of teal and gold. I'm gonna add a few of these as well. Oh, this is pretty. All right, y'all are gonna love this. We'll fill in a little. All right, I'm happy now. I was panicking for a second, but now I'm not. I'm gonna let them kind of go where they want to, and then we'll. All right, so I used about a half a tube of this and a full tube of the berry. So we used the berry lined topaz and the seafoam. We'll get all these loose ones over where they need to be. Love this. I'm going to show you this close up in just a second. You can kind of see. Look. And you can still see the iridescence underneath, so I think we're good. I think we are golden. Speaking of golden, let's add some glass. Yee-hoo! Y'all know I love my red coffee. All right, so we're gonna add glass to the bottom one, and I think this is gonna work out pretty good. Not bad at all. I don't want that piece. So look at this monster. So every once in a while, you're gonna get bigger pieces than you expect in your bags of glass, and that's just how it goes. And I like to just pull those out and set them aside, and I use those in larger art pieces. So don't feel like, oh, that's garbage. I can't use that in anything. There's definitely going to be a time, especially if you're in my membership, where you're going to learn how to do, like, we have a really fun abstract coming up this year that I've had in my brain. And we're going to use some of the bigger pieces of glass in that abstract. So never stress about that. So I'm going to add this gold glass. A few more little pieces. Really, I'm trying to pile it up where it's really kind of dimensional, really nicely dimensional here at the bottom. What do y'all think? Let's see, a few more little nugs. Now this turned out pretty good for it being a potential disaster. And I think I'm gonna get one or two more little small pieces. Y'all know I can't stop once I get to adding glass. It's like, no, it needs more, it needs more, it needs more. Gotta have more. All right, I'm gonna stop. You look, we'll add this last piece right there. We're ready for resin, y'all. Oh, my goodness. All right, so if you're doing this, if you're in the shattered circle and you are doing this piece, I'm gonna, obviously, you can skip the foil and just paint underneath the center heart with a gold or a bronze or, you know, whatever teal color you want, unless we can figure out, unless Rima can give us some pointers on what I do wrong. But for now, we're gonna say, yeah, just do whatever you feel like you need to do under here and keep on keeping on. All right, I'm gonna mix up some resin and I'm gonna mix up, oh, let's see. Let me grab my gloves while I'm thinking about it. So we don't have a lot of glass, but I think we're gonna do 2 ounces. I think this is gonna take probably an ounce or more, and then we'll have a little bit to spread around. You can actually add some glass around here if you wanted to, but yeah, it's like flat, and then there's a little something, and then it's like, woo, at the bottom. So we're gonna do 2 ounces. I'm gonna do 1 ounce of each. So let's mark, I'm gonna move this up a second. Hopefully, yes, hopefully it will pop. So I'm gonna mark my 1 ounce line on both my cups because these are terrible cups and they're super hard to see, the embossing. And now I'm gonna put my gloves on. Now, there's no link. It just says link in description, and it says the size of the canvas. That's all. All right, so let's pour some resin. We want 1 ounce of hardener. Whoa, Nelly. And 1 ounce of resin. Let's scoot that over a little. Ooh. Let's let that grow a second. Play catch up. Might need a little bit more. Just a dollop. All right, I think that's good. So now I'm going to use a stir stick and scrape those out of the baby cups into this larger cup so we can mix it well. So just get this into 1 cup. Traffic is terrible. So excited about my new place, y'all. In my opinion, they're 90% done. They've painted, the HVAC is in, the toilets are in. There's some minor things, and the biggest thing is the parking lot is not paved. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm ready to get into my new space. I'm ready to teach to all my locals. I'm ready to have a little get together with some of you guys. All right. So we got all our resin in this cup. I'm gonna scrape off my stick. Make sure we get it all in there. Then I'm gonna use my, where'd it go? I'm gonna use one of my silicone pieces to stir, and hang on, it had some dry stuff. I'm going to use one of these to stir and to resin my piece. So I'm going to pull this back towards me. And now we can chat for 3 minutes while Miss Catherine times me. So we're going to mix this really well. You're going to scrape the sides of your cup and scrape the bottom really well and gently stir this. Yay, Stacy Ann! Just gently stir and kind of fold it together. You don't want to beat it to death. Just kind of fold it and mix for 3 minutes. Don't cheat yourself. Don't undermix, and don't mismeasure. That is the 2 things that if you do, you're going to end up with a sticky mess and you're going to have to re-resin. So make sure you are measuring exactly 50-50, and you cannot weigh it. It has to be a measurement. And make sure you're stirring, scraping the sides, scraping the bottom, and stirring it for that entire 3 minutes. Right. Yeah, these things are awesome, especially for a bigger piece, these tools. You know what, Leslie? I think that Dick's is a little better quality most of the time, but I've gotten some real dogs from Dick's. Not the last order I got from them, but the order before, like in the fall of last year, I got a super big order from them, and a lot of the canvases were so textured, I would have to put like 3 coats of paint on them before I could even start my artwork. They were terrible. They seem to be better now, though. Still stirring. It's turned out pretty good, all things considered. So has anybody followed me long enough to have watched me do a live transferring an image to a table? And it would not transfer at all, and I did this whole live. Nothing went right. Nothing would transfer. I was freaking out. And this was several years ago when I was kind of new. Thank you, Catherine. This was several years ago when I was kind of new, and I was so embarrassed. I felt so dumb. It's Rima. R-I-M-A. And Leisha, the link is at the top of the page. All right, I'm going to start with my glass, and I'm just going to start drizzling right on top of my glass. And I do this very methodically so that I know all the glass is covered. So I'm going to start at the bottom, go left to right, all the way till I get to the top. That way I know it's all covered. And once you do it a couple of times, you'll be able to tell just by how the glass looks if you have covered it with resin or not. Also, a sure sign is that it starts seeping out around the edges of your art piece, like right here. It starts kind of flowing outside that heart shape. That way you know you've got plenty of resin on your piece. Let's see. I want to make sure that is covered. Now I'm going to come up here. I'm going to cover my beads. Y'all know normally I like to resin and then put the beads on. We may add a few to the top because it's super hard to resin over every single little bead. And I also like them exposed. but we'll do a little bit of both. I want to make sure I have enough resin. Go around the edge. I'm going to save a little bit of my cup just in case. And I am going to start work on my flats. That's what I call the canvas that has no glass. Flat parts, just the flat part of your canvas. You want to do that last. You're going to use all this that's coming out of your glass. Oh my goodness. That heart really is popping too. Look at that. To spread all the way to the edge. And I'm actually going to use my hand because this is annoying me. I just feel like sometimes I have better control using my hands. Oh my goodness, this heart at the top is spectacular. So pretty. All right, I'm going to turn this a little. And I am going to elevate my canvas, guys. So you do need to elevate. If you're new, you do need to elevate your canvas so that if you have any resin drips down the side of your canvas, like overflow going over the edge, you don't want it to go down the edge and stick it to your table. So you do want to elevate your canvas. But this one's kind of wobbly. So I wanted to get all my stuff on before I elevate. All right, I see debris down here at the bottom. I'm gonna kind of just go in with my fingers. Actually, I have a little bit of resin left. So I'm gonna go in and just take whatever's left and saturate these beads. So this was 2 ounces of resin and it looks to be the perfect amount. Not too much, not too little. Just kind of scraping the cup now. And all right, now I'm going to get this debris out and I'm going to take my glove off. I've got some drippage right here. I'm just going to wipe it up with my glove. And I'm going to grab my pick. My toothpicks are somewhere. I've lost them since I moved my desk. So I'm going to grab my bead pick. And I have a little bit of debris here and there. So I want to make sure I get that out. I'm just going to roll. What I do is just roll my pick into anywhere where there's like a little speck of cat hair, dog hair, whatever, just some dust particles. There's some down here at the bottom. And you can just roll right on top of that and it just grabs onto that toothpick or whatever you're using. That's pink debris, so I don't know where that came from. Just scoop it up. One more, I think. Oh my gosh, did y'all see that? Okay, my birthday's next month, March, the last day of March, March 31st. I will be 60, believe that. Oh my gosh, that shocks even me. I'm like, how in the world did that even happen? But mystery man, Mr. McCord, is doing me up right for my birthday. He's taking me to St. Martin. I've never been. Been a lot of beachy places, but not St. Martin. And I am super stoked about that. I mean, I can't even tell you how stoked I am. All right, I'm gonna grab my heat gun. I am literally counting down the days, and I'm probably gonna, thank you, Wendy. I'm probably gonna be super obnoxious about it because I just am, I don't even know, I'm so excited. So I'm popping all those bubbles. Keep that heat moving. And I think before we call her done, I'm gonna grab a few more of these seed beads. I wish I'd had some more of the iridescent ones. These are iridescent, but I'm talking about the pinky ones. Ugh. Ugh. And I am just going to tap in a few more on top just to give it some height. You want to do your heat gun first. You don't want to lay them on top and then do your heat again because it could burn the beads. Oh my goodness, y'all, this is so pretty. All right, I'm gonna stop. I promise. Ooh, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna show you this close up, guys. This really actually turned out beautifully. So there is our stenciled heart. Look how well the bead part turned out. So much for the foil. And there's our gold glass. I love this. It turned out really nice. I'm not upset at all. Let me see if I can get it in place where you can see the whole thing. Look how pretty. Oh my goodness.